obviously this week is the second week of Barbenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, I think that's all we're going to talk about.
Yep.
So Barbie opened up to 162 million ish first weekend, and Oppenheimer was around about the 82 mark.
Yeah.
So James, what are you forecasting for this week? I know you did one in the middle of the week ish.
Mm-hmm.
Has that changed since then?
No, not at all. I'm going to be, again, very close to what was predicted. I keep saying this on Twitter. Deadline and Box Office Pro, they're just playing chess. I'm out here in the multiverse getting everything right. They were forecasting at the start of the week, around the time, just after I dropped my projections down, around like 77 to around 80 million for Barbie and about 40 to 45 million for Oppenheimer. Both are going to exceed that. I projected that Barbie is going to be around 90 million and that Oppenheimer is going to be at the 50 million mark. Now, Barbie has made 29 million on the Friday and Oppenheimer 13.4 million on the Friday as well. So that means, or how that tracks is that Barbie's going to be around the 90 to 92 million mark, perhaps over 95 if it really holds on the Sunday, which is where I was at. The fact that Box Office Pro had to do, I think, Friday updates and then change their forecast to 90 million, exactly like mine, is just hilarious to me. But yeah, Barbie's going to be around that figure. Oppenheimer will be around the 50 million mark. I think, depending on the Sunday, it might go a bit below around the 47 kind of area. We'll have to see. Let's not forget, there was another big movie that released, the $165 million movie, Haunted Mansion by Disney. That, I don't know why the budget's so high and it's absurd, but it's, it opened to 10 million on the Friday. So it's going to get a good, 25 million for the weekend, which isn't bad for a movie that me and you really haven't heard of and literally have zero excitement for. At least I don't, because I don't care about it at all. I've seen one trailer. I don't know if you're excited for that one.
No,
not at all. Talk to me. That one's going to be a surprise one. It made about 4.2 million on the Friday. Its budget was 4.5 million. So this weekend it's going to break even and make a profit. And me and you both love that movie, especially as a horror movie. So that's good that it's going to get some success there. But yeah, I think the sad one is really Mission Impossible. Is it third weekend?
Yeah.
Yes, it's third weekend and it's at 6th for the Friday.
Oh my God, not even top.
Under 3 million for that day. So it will get around 10 to 11 million, which is, yeah. The movie's bombed. It's a flop. There's no way around it. We love it. Most people do love it, and that's fair enough. But you can't shy away from the fact that it is a flop. 290 million budget might make around 500 to 600 under the break-even mark. So losing millions for the studio. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Or I just have to credit Elemental. I'm always going to keep crediting Elemental until it drops out of the top 10 because it's looking like it's going to have a bigger week than Indiana Jones. And it released 4 weeks before that. Or not 4 weeks, but a good couple weeks. The fact that it opened up under 30 million and it has 142 right now, and we'll probably have 145, 150 by the end of the weekend, is just going to be...
Considering the marketing for that film was trash.
It was so trash. And I think it's going to earn over or around 500 million. So what looked like a bomb and we were shitting on it so much has converted to something that's actually going to break even. It's probably going to be around that middle mark where they won't make much or anything significant, but man, the power of word of mouth. Yeah. What are you thinking about these numbers?
Yeah, I just find it funny how in Barbie's second week and it's still going to make more than Indiana Jones, Fast X, and the Flash.
The opening, yeah.
And even Oppenheimer, it's still around about that same figure as on its second weekend as well. So clearly the power of Barbenheimer is in full force and obviously people are loving it. And I think this is going to continue on for the next month at least.
Yeah.
Just these two films going at it and
yeah,
dominating that 1 and 2 spot. Mission Impossible is sad. And I think it's suffered because of Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
I think if it released earlier or a bit later, it would have been fine. I definitely think it should have been pushed up, given more than a week and a half before Oppenheimer, especially in IMAX as well.
Yes.
Surprised that Tom Cruise or Paramount didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't see any Barbenheimer memes, so.
yeah. I think with the Barbenheimer thing, it really ramped up in like the last week, which was it's too late for a release date change at that point for Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
So yeah, they would have seen like the last month just being like all Barbenheimer and be like, damn, we shit we shit the bed, yeah.
Oh well, take an L and there's no Barbenheimer next year for part 2, so you should be safe on that front.
There's Donka, that's coming.
There's Donka.
Dune and Wonka, let's make it happen. But this funny thing, I just want to add this before we move on. Sound of Freedom is going to make more than Mission Impossible in the domestic market.
Oh, that is like not real. You can't really take that on face value because of the whole like buying tickets and no one showing up sort of thing.
I've heard so much like controversies. I don't know what it's true, but I've seen like advertisements for like Barbie and Oppenheimer from like New Zealand cinema chains where we are, and all the comments are like, "Win Sound of Freedom, get Sound of Freedom here," and then the cinema chain will be like, "Hey, we're trying to work it out with the studio. They haven't announced anything yet," and then like people are like, "Why are you trying to stop this? It's not an excuse." It's just like so politically charged, but you know, there's clearly a demand for it outside of the US, and even my manager was posting something about it. I'm like, what is this movie? I'm very curious. I'm gonna go watch it and see what the fuss is about.
Imagine if it's just literally nothing.
Yeah, because it is just one of the most bizarre box office and movie stories of the year, in my opinion. Yeah, we'll see that together.
We'll see that maybe.